violent white supremacists 2 days after facing an intense bipartisan backlash for blaming, quote, all sides for the violent unrest in Charlottesville. Naming and shaming, social media shines a light on faces caught on camera as hate groups rise out of the shadows. Game on. The defense secretary's new warning to North Korea late today over what could lead to war. Tainted alcohol crackdown. Raids targeting tourist hotspots and hotels in Mexico after the death of a young American woman on vacation with her family. Do you know what you're really being served? And Hollywood stunt dangers. A day after Tom Cruise was badly injured on set, tragedy strikes another blockbuster sequel. Nightly News begins right now.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening, and thank you for being with us tonight. After what to many came off as a tone-deaf response to this weekend's racist-fueled violence in Charlottesville, Virginia, President Trump tried today to find the right notes as he took to the podium again to address the tragedy, this time calling out the KKK, neo-Nazis, and white supremacists by name for sowing the seeds of hate that blossomed into bloodshed on a Charlottesville street Saturday when a car driven into a crowd left a young woman dead and more than a dozen others injured. It was part of a horrific day that also saw 2 police officers killed in a helicopter accident. Tonight, the president's words and actions under scrutiny as he faces a major test of moral leadership. Our chief White House correspondent, Hallie Jackson, has the latest.
President Trump today delivering the message many wanted sooner.
Racism is evil, and those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and other hate groups.
In unscheduled remarks, the president explicitly condemning those groups after he didn't on Saturday, triggering an onslaught of outrage in these last 48 hours.
To anyone who acted criminally in this weekend's racist violence, you will be held fully accountable.
Too little, too late, his critics say, with the CEO of Merck, Ken Frazier, quitting the president's manufacturing council as a matter of personal conscience. The president attacked Frazier on Twitter within minutes. His response to Charlottesville took longer to evolve. Saturday, an initial response seemed to spread the blame.
Hatred, bigotry, and violence on many sides. On many sides.
By Sunday, even top Republicans wanted something stronger.
Call this white supremacism, this white nationalism evil.
Later, a response from an unnamed White House spokesperson slammed hate groups like the KKK, with the Attorney General this morning insisting the president was forceful.
He's not afraid to call out terrorism overseas. But here's a president that didn't do that. Why?
The president did do that yesterday. His spokesman said that.
President.
Now?
Can you explain why you did not condemn those hate groups by name over the weekend? They've been condemned. They have been condemned.
The president sees the alt-right and white supremacists and all that crew as part of his base. His view, pull and keep as many of those voters as I can.
The attack in Charlottesville, a reminder of the role of presidents in times of crisis, like September 11th.
None of us will ever forget this day, yet we go forward to defend freedom.
The Charleston church shooting.
Amazing grace.
All presidents meeting the moment, and for President Trump, a critical one now. The mother of 32-year-old Heather Heyer, who was killed in the Charlottesville attack, tells NBC News tonight she thanks the president for denouncing those who promote violence. And tonight, by the way, the president will spend the night at his home in Trump Tower, where protesters already have gathered to greet him. Lester.
Hallie Jackson of the White House, thank you. We're also learning more about the suspect accused of turning the unrest in Charlottesville deadly by ramming his car into a crowd of counter-protesters. He appeared in court today while the family of the woman he allegedly killed, as Hallie pointed out, is speaking out in the name of peace. NBC's Tom Costello is in Charlottesville with the latest.
Arraigned in district court today, 20-year-old James Alex Fields said he understood the charges against him: second-degree murder, malicious wounding, and hit and run. Police say Fields used his car to intentionally mow down a crowd of anti-hate demonstrators on Saturday, killing 32-year-old Heather Heyer. Among the 19 people also injured, 20-year-old Natalie Romero, an ROTC student at UVA who suffered a fractured skull. Her mother in Texas.
She's my hero. And before this, she has always been my hero.
Heather Heyer's family says they're heartbroken.
She was a strong, opinionated woman that was willing to stand up for what she believed in.
I'm trying to honor my daughter, and the way that I know she would want to be honored, with speaking up for what she believed in, and in the way she believed in it, without hate, without anger, without fear.
The nationalist community defended ourselves against thugs.
Outside the courthouse today, two self-proclaimed white nationalists began screaming that police, the media, and counter-protesters were to blame for Saturday's violence.
The nationalist community came to Charlottesville to defend our heritage, to stand for Robert E. Lee.
Today, this photo of suspect Fields standing among white nationalists at Saturday's rally. Meanwhile, police, who lost 2 troopers in a helicopter crash Saturday, responded to allegations they didn't do enough to keep the peace.
Absolutely, I have regrets. We lost 3 lives this weekend. We certainly have regrets. It was a tragic, tragic weekend.
When I asked the police chief whether one side was the instigator, he said this was an alt-right rally and they did not stick with their agreement with the police to enter the park from one side, and it quickly, he says, deteriorated. As for Alex Fields, he's being held without bond and he has not yet entered a plea. Lester?
All right, Tom Costello, thank you. And as the investigation continues there, the fallout for those accused of supporting hate there is being felt far and wide as social media takes aim, naming and hoping to shame some of those caught on camera. NBC's Jolene Kent picks up that end of the story.
When the violence erupted in Charlottesville, the smartphones came out. Photos and videos captured individual faces, and the internet went to work. University of Nevada, Reno student Peter Svetanovich was caught on camera, and the naming and shaming began. He says he received death threats and calls to be expelled.
I understand the photo is very bad looking, but I don't believe that you should threaten my family. To me, that's monstrous. You can call me a Nazi, you can hate my ideology, but I wouldn't threaten anyone.
Under pressure, his university reacted, saying, "We remain firm in our commitment in denouncing all forms of bigotry and racism." At Top Dog Restaurant in Berkeley, California, Cole White, a cook, resigned after he was identified on Twitter for protesting. His former employer posted this letter on the front door saying White no longer works at Top Dog. Actor Jennifer Lawrence also taking a stand, telling her 16 million Facebook followers, "These are the faces of hate. Look closely and post anyone you find. You can't hide with the internet, you pathetic cowards."
There's always a risk that the wrong person could be identified, but people have to recognize that whatever they're doing in public is now up for grabs.
Big business challenged too. Social media called out website hosting company GoDaddy, asking why it allowed neo-Nazi group The Daily Stormer to use its services. Soon after, GoDaddy severed its ties. When The Daily Stormer moved to Google, it was kicked off within hours. Social media proving in today's digital age, there's nowhere to hide. Jolene Kent, NBC News, Los Angeles.
The violence in Charlottesville has focused much of the nation's attention on a segment of society that many may not have realized was so organized and so connected as white supremacists come out of the shadows. So what's behind their rise? Here's NBC News Justice correspondent Pete Williams.
Clashes over symbols of the Confederacy have brought white supremacist hate groups into the open that for years have operated in the shadows. The number of Ku Klux Klan chapters is actually down, but Neo-Confederate and other groups are on the rise, sometimes inspiring deadly attacks.
We are seeing more and more people who are not necessarily affiliated with any group, but who have become highly interested in the movement and motivated to carry out, in many cases, real criminal violence.
Noting that trend, a federal bulletin in May said the white supremacist extremist movement will likely continue to pose a threat of lethal violence. After the 2015 shooting at a black church in South Carolina that killed 9, Pictures surfaced of the gunman, Dylan Roof, with symbols of the Confederacy, prompting calls to remove Confederate symbols from public places. Charlottesville's decision in April to take down a statue of Robert E. Lee sparked 3 protests. Demonstrations, too, in May in New Orleans over a Lee statue there, and a similar one in June in Houston, and just last weekend in San Antonio. Today, the president of the Jacksonville, Florida City Council called for an inventory of all such symbols on public property. And civil rights advocates say President Trump's overheated campaign rhetoric made hate groups think their message was no longer taboo.
For evil to triumph.
A former FBI agent whose undercover work with white supremacists led to the movie Imperium, starring Daniel Radcliffe, says a lax police response to hate group protests is asking for trouble.
These are groups that are used to hearing dog whistles from public officials. So they take that as a green light. We are approving of this violence.
Attorney General Sessions says the government should look at what happened last weekend to see if future responses can help prevent trouble, Lester.
All right, Pete, and while we have you here, what can you tell us about this potential terrorism arrest in Oklahoma over the weekend?
Well, we learned today, Lester, that the FBI arrested a 23-year-old man, Jerry Drake Varnell, accusing him of plotting to set off a bomb to emulate Timothy McVeigh, the 1995 Oklahoma Federal Building bomber. They say Varnell parked a van outside an Oklahoma City bank on Saturday thinking it contained a powerful bomb, hoping to make an anti-government statement, but it was a dud provided by the FBI after months of meetings with an undercover agent, Lester.
All right, Pete Williams, thank you. From overseas tonight, new images showing North Korea's Kim Jong-un reviewing plans for a missile strike that his country has threatened to launch toward the U.S. territory of Guam. But if North Korea actually goes through with it, Defense Secretary Mattis today promised swift military action. NBC's Andrea Mitchell has the story for us.
Tonight, Defense Secretary Mattis confidently telling reporters the U.S. would know within moments if a North Korean missile is fired at Guam and will take it out. Adding, if they fire at the U.S., it could escalate very quickly. It's called war. If they hit the U.S., including Guam, Mattis said if they do that, it's game on. U.S. officials say China is the key to a diplomatic solution. But today, the president is launching an investigation into Beijing's theft of U.S. trade secrets.
And this is just the beginning. I want to tell you that. This is just the beginning.
Mr. Trump eager to keep a campaign promise.
We can't continue to allow China to rape our country.
But slamming China now could be a problem, just as the Joint Chiefs chairman was arriving in Beijing. Earlier in South Korea, saying China is key to cracking down on Kim Jong-un.
It's going to require China not only to do what they did at the United Nations Security Council, which was to vote for sanctions, but to enforce those sanctions.
Another sticking point, the president's fiery rhetoric, rattling U.S. allies, reports NBC's Bill Neely in Seoul.
South Korea's President Moon is calling on the U.S. to stop any war through diplomacy. He says he's certain the U.S. will act calmly and responsibly. Not everyone's certain here. This is a nervous country.
And a nervous region, hearing the president's tough talk.
This kind of rhetoric jangles the system and creates the possibility of miscalculation on the military side. That's why it's dangerous.
Tonight, North Korea says Kim Jong-un was presented with those plans for a missile launch towards Guam, now ordering his military to be ready to strike whenever he gives the order. Lester?
Andrea Mitchell in Washington, thanks. Still ahead tonight, tainted alcohol raid, the crackdown in a tourist hotspot where a number of vacation horror stories are reported, and one American's getaway turned deadly. Also danger on the set. Tom Cruise injured performing a stunt for the next Mission Impossible movie. And today, tragedy striking the set of another hotly anticipated sequel.
Each year, Sarah climbs 58,070 steps. That's the height of Mount Everest. Because each day she chooses to take the stairs, at work, at home, even on the escalator. That can be hard on her lower body. So now she does it with Dr. Scholl's orthotics, clinically proven to relieve and prevent foot, knee, or lower back pain by reducing the shock and stress that travel up her body with every step she takes. So keep on climbing, Sarah. You're killing it. Dr. Scholl's, born to move.
Liberty Mutual stood with me when I was too busy with the kids to get a repair estimate. I just snapped a photo and got an estimate in 24 hours.
My insurance company definitely doesn't have that.
You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
The DNA Summer Sale is here. Get your Ancestry DNA kit, learn about you and the people and places that led to you, and see yourself in a new light. Ancestry DNA. Save 30% through August 15th at AncestryDNA.com.
ProPlan BrightMind Adult 7+ promotes alertness and mental sharpness in dogs 7 and older.
The difference has been incredible. She's much more aware. She wants to learn things.
Purina Pro